Good evening and welcome to Coffee and Tea with Aeson and Dottie. How are you, darling?
Hello, my dotlings. I am actually doing pretty good. I got a big project done, so getting ready for the next big project already.
Yep. It is a lot. I'm glad you got a big project done. I think we need to clone ourselves at this damn point.
Ugh. I think it may come down to, what's making me money and what's not, because what's not may get cut.
Uh-huh.
Because there's a few things that,
Right. But there's a lot of things that you want to do. There's a lot of things that we have to do as business owners. And good evening, Jennifer. Good evening, Shannon. Welcome to some tea. We need 4 more Aesons and 3 more Dotties. Actually, make that 5 more Aesons so he can deal with with the 3 Dotties.
Yeah, just one assigned to me because, I am constantly Facebook messaging Aeson with all these little things, especially when I'm active. You can tell when I'm down because I don't. That's when you get the calls that last for an hour when I'm crying. I'm like, I can't do anything. I can't get out of the bed. And then I go into hyper focus mode and I've gotten a newsletter coming out. So, if you want to message me your email and all, I think you can go through the website to add your email to the list.
You can go to DottieThePsychic.com and add yourself to the email list automatically. And then the Coffee and Tea gang was going to start adding to the magazine, so I'm redesigning the magazine.
Thanks, Joe.
And Joe hears the idea of 5 Aesons.
And just cries. He just cries.
He just cries. He's like, forget this. Oh, Gwen and Shannon's going to make plans for the weekend. Yep. And, it's June. It's hot as hell. We just put in 2 more ACs to cool it down. It's Pride. I don't know. I think the psychics need to start doing something for Pride.
There we go. I don't know what's going on with that.
What do you think?
Probably. It may not be a bad thing. I do know that there's a lot of crossover with the queer community and the psychic / metaphysical community.
Yeah, do a psychic pride event.
There is, we do have a pagan pride event.
We have pagan pride event. Yeah.
The faith system, not the biker club. One of my videos one of my first videos blew up. I'm like, why is the rest of my stuff not doing anything? And people were clicking on it and then clicking right off. I'm like, what's going on here? And I stopped getting watches on that video when I put on there, this is not the biker club.
Right.
Boom, dropped right off. I'm like, God.
Yeah, they thought we were biker club.
I've had that more than one time. It's like, oh, you're a pagan. You're like, no, not the kind of pagan you're thinking of. I'm the other.
Yeah, there is a pagan chapter in St. Albans. They are a lovely group of individuals. Brother of the Wheel is in Oak Hill. They're, again, a lovely group of individuals. We support our bikers. Our biker clubs do a lot of good work. Which right now, I believe they're busy working on bikes. And I'm not talking about the motorcycles. I'm talking about the regular bikes for children for Christmas. It's, high time to be collecting those and refurbishing those and fixing those up.
It is beautiful weather for going out and riding the bike.
It is.
My stepdad actually took me to see the Vietnam Memorial, and I've got all the footage. Hopefully it didn't get wiped when I had to clear my computer that I still need to edit together along with the wedding video and a memorial video from 3 years ago that has my mom in it. That's never going to see mass production, but it's still on there. It needs to be done. It's on my list.
It's on your list. You need to put it out there. It doesn't need to be mass produced. It just needs to be processed.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, it's fun. It's interesting the way the network is growing, the way, different things where I'm going into and doing and having fun with that. I know you think you're bugging me all the time, and it's like, no, Dottie, it's on my list for tonight. No, Dottie, I'm not changing something at 2 o'clock in the afternoon for you, because at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you have site visitors. At 3 in the morning, you don't.
As long as it gets done.
Exactly. But the other side of this is we're all small businesses dealing in big tech land.
Broom, not vroom. Yes.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah, I have no idea what we're talking about.
we're talking about a lot of different things. We're talking about these big companies that thinks that they can nickel and dime the small businesses because we are like 2 or 3 people
I
working as
wouldn't.
a collective.
I don't think I would mind as much if they help their creators out more.
Yeah.
I would pay the $26 here for the brand new scheduling, which has, I have lost money because I wasn't able to schedule people properly because Facebook scheduling apparently just.
Yeah.
And, or what is it, the $10 for the newsletter to go out.
Mm-hmm.
If they were helping.
Right. Like, give us production. Instead, they think we have a production team. They have a production squad. We're registering. We're charging by device. What? You get this is an example. Adobe. $60 a month. Great. I'm not spending $1,000 every 2 years to upgrade your software. 2 devices.
Yeah.
2 devices. But they design apps for your cell phone. The average user has a cell phone, a laptop,
and a
tablet, and then a computer. That's 4 devices. That's $420 a month right now. Yeah.
Yeah, it gets ridiculous. I'm like,
it gets ridiculous. Can we get something designed for small businesses that have to play big? Because we're small, but we have to play big.
Right.
This is why we team up. We work together. We share resources. We do different things, and then then we have like Facebook becoming a dick.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but like the booking thing, that apparently never worked.
Well, it worked. It worked well. It worked well when it started. Then it started fucking with it.
I never got a single person through Facebook booking.
Right.
That's why I finally broke and spent the $26 a month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which, it doesn't sound like much. There is a certain cost of business.
Right.
But that means I'm up to like $50, $60 a month.
Operating
costs.
Yeah. It's weird when I look at the business books versus 10 years ago. Business books, we are spending about $2,000 a month.
Ooh.
Yeah. For all operational costs. That's before we cover power. That's before we cover insurance, food. That's just running Aeson Knight Industries, all of Aeson Knight Industries, which covers the coffee shop, which covers the websites, the coaching stuff, the certifications, the advertisement. It's like,
yeah, I don't want to talk about the fucking I signed up to do a life coaching course.
Uh-huh.
And I even got it on discount, like a heavy discount. Udemy was doing a thing, and it's still, that might be the next big thing I do is a class.
Well, then you open up a whole new branch of stuff. Because
right.
I run multiple classes right now, which I have Inner Circle that's going to give you a lot of discounts. But I'm looking at my class prices compared to Barefoot Gypsies. She's running a numerology course. I'm running a numerology course. She's charging $90 for hers. I'm doing $25 for mine. Bet you she gets a full room.
It's because advertising on the internet is a joke.
No, I really think it's a price question.
I wonder sometimes, like,
am I too cheap?
Now for event reading, $20, because people, that's what people are willing to pay. They show up, they're like interested, $20, and you don't have to make change. Because if it's any less than that, and they're either going to be like, they're either going to think it's a scam,
or cardiac,
which I need to get back out into events. That's where I usually make my most contacts. I've been hanging at 299 subscribers for a week now. And before that, I was hanging at 297 for like months. I was looking back. I'm like, a year ago, I did my 250 subscriber happy dance. I'm like,
well, and then you have like places like YouTube. There are thousands of us tarot readers on YouTube. They had World Tarot Day. It's the whole thing. I had planned out some marketing. It failed. For World Tarot Day. Did they feature all of us? Did they even give you a playlist of tarot review channels? Which, by the way, Saturday, you'll get your tarot review on the Luscious Tarot. This is a Kit Kat stack. Shiny as all get out, though. Like, it has not, like, it ain't camera friendly, but it's beautiful.
Yeah, that is not camera friendly.
No, but the deck is gorgeous, rich ass colors.
I think it might also be the lighting, like, because
So we have a full moon in Sagittarius, which calls us to question and work on what is our goals. What do you want to shoot for?
I want to shoot for a world-renowned stand-up in July 9th. I'm so excited about this. Like,
I know you've been hyping about it forever.
Yes. I know I'm going to be hyping it until it happens, because I'm actually thinking about doing if we can pull this off.
You better.
Well, no, I mean this, because I haven't really had a chance to do stand-up, to get up in front of people and talk. So I'm going to try and do a live stream the Thursday before. That is just going to be me working on my stand-up. And then, people who are in the comments and sections and whatnot can tell me what they think, and maybe...
What type of stand-up are you doing? Are you going to do storytelling, or are you going to be slapsticking?
It's going to be a lot of storytelling, because my life is funnier than anything I could make up.
Well, I agree. I don't know. I think we should have our own reality show. Hint, hint. Hello, Bravo. Hello, TLC. Come take on West Virginia Psychics.
Right. I am a show.
Some days my life is a comedy. Some days my life is a drama. Most days my life is a horror festival.
I want to do more ghost stuff in October. Like, I'm thinking about, like, because if you're going to do ghost stuff, you got to plan that shit out in months in advance, as we found out.
If not years.
But I'm thinking about either like the Heyman house. That's more localized. It's quieter. There may not be as many ghosts, but I could go and pay to play pretty easily. But I want to do something like the like Moundsville Penitentiary. I know a lot of people have done that one. I kind of want to go. Want to look up like the local haunted areas and do like an actual like. That's somewhere on the burners. It's on the board. It's on the board to do like a ghost hunt of some sort, like a real honest to God. Because I want to do a video. I heard this on a podcast, and I can't remember the name of the podcast. I wish I could, because I would love to give credit for this. But Paranormal Ethics.
Yes. I tell you where I done one at, and you probably think it's the craziest, is the Eagles in South Charleston. That place got a lot of people.
Yeah, hell yeah. Send in my info.
Yeah. Well,
this is like I want to tell some of the stand-up that I can't tell, because there's gonna be kids in this audience, so I gotta keep it kind of PG.
Yep.
But like some of the shit that happens to you as a psychic, you get your number out there. We're constantly advertising. We're looking for people to get a hold of us, but we can't be direct about it. So we just put our name out there and hope people contact us. So I've got my numbers out there, and a bunch of teenage boys got a hold of it, and they call me. I'm like, "Hi, this is Dottie the Psychic. How can I help you?" And this guy's like, "I just want to know if my penis is going to grow this year." I'm like, "Well, honey, it doesn't look like it's going to change much, but I've never had a dick or a complaint, so I'd say you'll be all right. Just remember, it's not the size of the ship, it's the motion of the ocean." And they fell out.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and my recommendation for that is go take belly dancing, dude. I don't know.
That's the kind of shit that happens to you as a psychic. You know, I got stiffed on that one. Like,
well, that's because you answered the call that wasn't a scheduled appointment.
That's true, and I'm learning to do. It was too funny. It was too funny. I knew it was a prank call. There was no way I was ever getting a dime out of these kids.
Uh-huh. See, that I don't put up with that. Like, you get voicemail if I don't know you're calling. I'm about ready to assign voice messenger.
It's not a bad idea.
No, but I don't know. Some of the stuff that psychics go through and some of the stuff that I have fun with. Like, I love it when a guy sits down because his girlfriend wants him to get a reading. Girls, really? Okay, so fine. He sits down. He doesn't believe in this crap. He doesn't want to know. He's worried what I'm going to tell him. I lay it out for him, and his mouth falls out. He's like, how do you know that shit? And I'm like,
the psychic. We're psychic.
See, business card. Here's my card. You can have your boss call me because Lord knows your business is sucking.
That's another thing I have to spend money on. I need to get business cards. I was supposed to do that literally a week, 2 weeks now ago, and I don't know why I didn't just pull the, I don't know why I didn't. I have no reason why I didn't. Just that I didn't want to spend the money, and honestly, like,
get over it. The cost of doing business, is the cost, and I'm hoping Facebook was a lesson for you.
I want to talk about Facebook.
I know you don't want to talk about Facebook. They are nuts. Lots of websites, damn it, Dottie. Cute ones, too.
I actually did print off my own business cards for a long time, but I didn't actually get any callbacks from them, and I kind of wondered if it wasn't because they looked professional or what, because these were people who asked for them. I wasn't just like passing them out.
Well, my thing with business cards, and I've often thought about moving up to postcards, is go in the bottom of my purse. They live there forever. What I've seen the most response to, and it's weird in the state. I've had websites, I've got pages. The most response I get out is those little 3x5 folder things, the little pamphlets that I have. I get more reaction out of those than I do business cards.
I'm sorry, when you said that, I think about this time I went to Charleston Pride Festival, and you had to kind of go through this, like, these bunch of Christians just handing out the Jesus pamphlets. Telling us to turn before we burn.
Oh, please.
The ones with the monkeys and the happy faces, the ones, I remember when I was a kid, you always got at least one when you were going trick-or-treating. Usually more like 5.
Yeah. With bad candy.
With the bad candy. Like the handmade popcorn balls that you were a little afraid may have arsenic in them.
Right.
So that was fun.
Right.
I am going to tell about running into, like, so that should be interesting. Newsletter, the stand-up. Those are 2 big things that are definitely
currently on your marker.
Yes. Well, the newsletter is hopefully going to go out, like, early July, at least the first week of July, the last week of June, because you have to pay to schedule it.
Honey, where do you think, what are you doing? What have you gone into? Like, no, no, no. MailChimp doesn't charge you to send out your newsletter.
It doesn't charge you to send out your newsletter, but if you want to schedule it to go out on time, it does.
No, you put it in Aeson's planner and his ass sits there and does it. He pushes the button for you.
Yeah, it's on an email. I know Joe's probably going to want to add stuff to it because I just did it in like a Word doc.
Yeah, we get to redo it.
That, you know what? That has been the biggest, handing over a lot of artistic tasks, things that I really wasn't able to do on my own anyway, like right. All the journal pictures and things like that, but handing over so much of the artistic side of it was hard at first. It is. That was one thing I've learned doing business is, you delegate. You hire people, you got to let them do their job.
Yeah, and relax and let us do our job. Because Shannon says, I was laughing. Someone was handing out, be careful, they make edibles now, and people may put them in your kids' trick-or-treat bags. And I was like, as expensive as these things are, I doubt they're going to hand them out no matter how stoned they are. Well, what gets me is it's so diseducational.
Shit.
How are you still logged in?
I don't know. I apparently forgot to turn it off. Sorry, guys.
All right, we're going to take a commercial break. We'll be back.
Hello?
And she's still busy with the customer. Gotta love it when that happens. We are uploading commercial breaks, but anyhow, it's been a really busy week. It's going to be busy. And, those types of things happen. And I'm seeing a lot of content out of this. It's interesting. It's a minister in Tennessee. And now we have someone running for the State House of Representatives in South Carolina calling for our execution. And you got to look at that and go, what? Why are they doing this? And, being a theological student, hello, Facebook user, I'm like, where are they getting this from? And then I look at them and I'm like, polyester clothes, second marriage, third marriage. They're at Bob Evans every Sunday afternoon. Like, they better watch. They'll get stoned first if they want to start interacting biblical law. But, a lot of psychics probably 10 years ago was talking about this Shiitic law being entered in by the Muslims when they took over the United States. I'm seeing it more out of Christians right now. And that stuff going on. All right. So, Miss Shannon, you got a question for me? Why I entertain? Yep, she's up for targeting because I'm just in the mood to be mean. We'll see if we can get this luscious tarot to look nice. Give you guys a little bit of preview of it. You just look like you're easily for targeting. You have a question. Or do you just want a general to see what the luscious tarot has to say about it? You're a Patreon. You deserve a reading. We will take other questions. Shannon is not asking the lottery. Oh, general sounds great. Awesome, Shannon. So this is the Luscious Tarot. The review will be up on my channel probably on Saturday. All right, Miss Shannon. First, we have up the Page of Cups. It is a gorgeous Page of Cups here. It says you've got opportunities around you. You need to be paying attention to them. You also have a new business idea with the Ace of Wands showing up here. That idea is going to be taking off very well. You, however, have all these opportunities, but you got to figure out what you really want. What you really, really want. What you really, I know you got that nice husband of yours, you got those kids, you got that house, but what do you want? What do you want to do? And you also need to remember to be nurturing yourself a little bit better. All right. And then we have the High Priestess popping up as your final outcome, meaning you're the only one standing in your way. All right. Looks like Dottie's back from her Insta call. Welcome back to the stream, Miss Dottie. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Don't call me right now, but if you want to get a reading from Dottie the Psychic, you can reach me on Keen. Obviously. Sorry about that.
Now, Shannon says that she wants to buy some land and have a tiny house community, but that's far more money than she has access to. But someday, working on my credit to try in the future. What's really interesting is we were actually discussing that. Hey, Shannon, can you look over at Summershill Lake? We would like to have a house over in that area.
Those tiny houses, like, you're not saving as much money as you think sometimes. Like, you can spend a lot of money on a tiny house.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you think you would save on materials and things, but you can't get away from the plumbing in the kitchen and the things like that. And some of the specialty things to make the small houses cost, of course, there's a premium.
Exactly. She's not talking about the luxury ones. We're not talking about the luxury ones.
I'm not talking about the luxury ones. I know a guy who built houses for a living.
Yeah. But no, getting a 20 by 60 building unit, plopping it on some land and spending like $100 a month on drywall and plumbing and stuff until we have it built up. That sounds like Aeson's vacation home.
That would be nice. I want to get my van fixed. I've let it go. Like, the guy who was helping on it gave me homework 6 months ago, and it was too cold to do it when he gave it to me because I am not cold temperate, and I've just been so damn busy or just down. Like,
well, here's the thing, Dottie. Hasn't he learned by now? Like, I've learned homework don't work for Dottie. You just give her the idea and let her get to it.
Right. It's on the list. It's on the board.
Mm-hmm. The compound board is a lovely practice. She fell right into it.
Oh, yeah. Like, I exploded. I spent like a whole day just blowing it up.
Uh-huh. Ding, 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 ding. And
I could probably spend another day blowing it up. But then I realized I've got too many things on this.
And that's the benefit of a compound board, going, that's too many things. Maybe what do we want? What do we need? Where do we need things to be at? And, of course, it pops back out that 7 of Cups there. What you choosing? What's going to be working? Yeah, a compound board. It's this really interesting thing that came out of Tokyo, Japan. And it's a board where you put all your projects on top. Then you break them into what you're doing and what is done, so you can see the growth and the movement of projects. We moved into managing our Mystics PC projects with it. And it works really well because, Joe can do something, I can do something, and we can each see who's doing what and where it's at.
Right. I've got it. The one we're using is Trello.
Yeah, Trello's the digital one. I have a physical one in my office, and just no, you're not going to be buying stock and Post-its. And I'm like, but. So I don't go digital for him.
That's old school. See, here's the thing, my attention deficit disorder, I realize the more technology advances, the more it is the more I'm able to accommodate.
Yeah.
I really, when you've got an idea and it comes to you like that, but it's going to go in 10 seconds too. I'm like, but I've got Trello on my phone. I've got Trello on my tablet. I log in on my computer all the time.
Mm-hmm. And for me, I'm old school paper and pen. Give me pretty pens, give me pretty paper, give me good paper, and I'm all good. But that works for my dyslexia. I have to have that planner put together or my freaking day is lost before it starts.
Yeah. I set reminders on my phone all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I tried that for a month of having my life in Google Calendar. and it dinging for everything. That didn't work. That hasn't worked.
And that's the thing. Like, if you find a system, one of my clients on Keen actually was talking about doing a study of neurodivergencies and psychics, like the crossover.
Oh, it's going to be like the little circle thing they draw, and it shows the community that are both. They're going to almost have one big circle because there's a level of there has to be neurodivergency to have the split minds that require for psychic ability.
It's gonna look like that. It's gonna look like an eyeball.
Yes, very much so. There are some studies coming out of Virginia. I think that's the institute that contacted me. Because I'm always in part of studies. I've been, I'm part of the Marshall study, and actually the Marshall class on tarot reading up there. My intro video on this channel actually came from that. But of just the different things that work differently for psychics, it's like mediums. Every medium I know, they will blow up and destroy technology. Like, I don't normally recommend people that are mediums to go and buy the extended warranties on your laptops from Walmart. The minute they say they're a medium, I go, you need that. You're going to use that.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I am a medium and psychic, but I'm also like, I kind of got into the occultism because of the self-help aspect. It's kind of what saved my life.
Mm-hmm.
So in that great inward look, I've like, so this is how technology works. It's only a reflection of my brain. And I learned to be nice to my computer, and we still fight. Mm-hmm. We got some argument. We got issues. We have issues. Me and my computer, we sometimes have to have a good old fashioned sit down and work it out. But everything I own is mildly possessed.
Everything you own is mildly possessed, moderately possessed, or majorly possessed. That's because it's all based on gold and quartz crystals.
Yep. You learn to jive with them. Like, I've learned to, because I was going to be a technician for a while. That was too much spelling. Too much spelling.
I don't think it's spelling, honey. I'm like, what were you thinking? Yeah, your hard drive's bad, and I'm not done a reading for 3 days, so my energy is off the wall. Oh, I'm just going to blow out your processor while I'm trying to put in a new hard drive.
Yeah.
No bracelet's going to fix that one, honey.
But it's like, if you can, because I know chaotes who get into like tech mages.
Mm-hmm.
This is a whole conversation we'd had to start at the beginning of the video to get all the way through. But I've known plenty of tech mages who have created like a symbiotic relationship with their computers. And some of the programs, I've got a buddy who's just, this is just what he does when he gets a chance, is he will build programs. I really want to use his randomization program. Like, he has he's programmed in a dictionary that will, like, every quarter second or something, it rolls a 6-sided dice. And most of there's a lot of blank space in there, so there's not always a word coming up.
Mm-hmm.
But we got a lot of very interesting responses out of it.
See, those are things I want to play with. Like, can I influence that randomization? Can I complete that randomization? It's like the EMF meters. We were talking about them, and I'm like, we need to make sure that those are ones that we can't influence. Because the cheap EMF meters, a psychic can sit there and play with it all damn day. You'll think you'll have Spectre number 5, demon, and it's not. No, I just need coffee.
You're gonna take a need a pee and a crying. I'll be back in 5. The EMF detector stops going off.
Yep.
I have set off, the street light thing. Usually I don't do it. I have to try, because I keep my energy, I try to keep my energy in a flow.
Mm-hmm.
But I can charge up, and I used to be able to blow one of those.
Well, I've melted keyboards before when I've gotten into really intense readings. And the night that this occurred, I was in the middle of a 2-hour group session This is back during when we actually had the live chat. I melted a hole through the keyboard.
Nice. I've heard voices too. I tell you what, we just did a whole.
I was coming from to do dishes.
Yeah, and we got a running joke in the house because I live with other people who are gifted, but they're not. They chose the real life path. They're fine with where they are, so they're not. Yeah, they don't sell their gifts. But they we talked about buying a house. I'm like, okay, well, let's see if we can find one that's haunted because we'll probably get it for cheaper, and we'll just tell the guy to go to his room if he starts showing his ass.
Better yet, make him do dishes.
Bump, 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 slam.
Yep.
I don't care if you're dead or alive. I'll kick your ass.
Well, it's like the meme that goes around that shows like the woman with the sage and she's going through a house and she's, trying to clear it out. And then below it, what witchcraft really is. And it's literally a pan and a spoon going, get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello, Marie.
Hey.
But no, it's like there's so much difference. And currently there's a lot of differences out there in our community of psychics. I was reading one of the message boards I'm on, and the psychic came on and says, I don't read for cheaters. And I was like, that's half your business. What's your problem?
I tell you what, then, no, it's not half my business. Half my business is he cheating on me? Yes, bitch. You got to call a psychic to ask if he's cheating. He's cheating.
Yeah. And no, it's not quite, Marie. We're multi-streaming to multiple streams. So you may have gotten into one of the streams that are low commenters.
Yeah, on the YouTube.
Yeah. But it's like, I don't know. I read about anything that is legal to read on.
I love studying divination. Like, if you go back on my channel, some of my favorite videos are ones where I've done some sort of bizarre reading, like the monthly readings. I try to pull something out. I haven't done one. I want to do one on runes.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing about the runes is they are kind of heavily standardized.
Well, they're very heavily standardized. It's one of the few divination sets that's connected to a pantheon of gods. And you have to be careful when you're working with them, because think about it, those are owned by a god. It has been known that if you miscut a rune, you could sink a ship.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a story in one of the rune classes of this young guy. He had learned to do bind runes, and he'd done a bind rune for this person that was sick. Well, the person kept getting sicker and sicker and sicker, and they couldn't figure out why this person isn't getting better. Someone else was a little bit more proficient in the runes, looked at the bind rune he had created for them, and it's like, no, that's wishing them death, not health. So let's take and cleaning and cleanse that and remove it. And the person got better within 3 days. So, runes aren't one of those divination systems that you just pick up at the store and go, oh, let's see what it is. It's a deep studied one. I had a guest on, say, coffee shop that actually teaches one class and he's getting ready to do another one. But it and astrology, I think, are the two big divination systems that take some knowledge to do. Like, it takes some study.
Proper astrology to do a proper astrological reading, like to do the whole birth chart and things, like you need. There's so much involved, because I had a buddy in college who offered to do them, and like they take a month at a time because he's still trying to do, live a life.
Yeah.
Like, that's not an afternoon project.
Yeah, it's one of my most expensive readings. It takes a bit to produce.
Right.
Because you've got to build the chart, you've got to interpret the chart, you got to look at the angles and the aspects and the orbs, and then you got to sit there and go, okay.
So that's where it was when you were born. This is where it is now.
What's it have to do with you? Natal charts are very intense. You can find those on my site, aesonknight.com. You can order those. Those give you a lot of insight. A lover's chart is very intense. You don't want that for some fly-by one-night stand, because they will say this is a fly-by one-night stand. These are your positives. These are your negatives. These are the things you have in common.
Yeah, they're hard. Like, here's the thing. I find so often that I just kind of go with the flow when it comes to astrology. Because I do tell you, though, I can usually tell when we're about to hit Mercury retrograde. That first week is when it hits me, and there might be a little bit on the shadow, but
Mm-hmm.
the pre-shadow,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what?
Yep.
Why? What? Why?
Pre-shadow, post-shadow. Well, it's like we're now in Saturn in retrograde. What opportunities do you want? You got to be watching your manifesting energy during this Saturn retrograde, because Saturn is your taskmaster.
Yeah.
Then you have it in retrograde. So it's like taskmaster on piss off mode. And it's in Aquarius.
Or he just skips town. Like,
Yeah. So
yeah.
with it being in a social planet, retrograde, and Aquarius who don't like people, it's going to be like, so what did you say you wanted? Oh, okay. So you wanted to do this big video? Not a problem. You're doing it. And you're going to do it at 9 o'clock on Thursday.
Yeah. And you better be on time.
Don't be a minute late. And you have these 5 scenes set out. So boom, boom, boom. You better shoot all 5 in order.
I'll tell
Promise
you
you.
what, though, sometimes Saturnine energy, I've heard this before, that a lot of what we consider demonic, I'm putting in quotes, don't get me here, don't come at me, but like a lot of the darker energies we consider either are Mars and its aggression, or Saturn and its black and white
Right.
thinking.
Right. Um, and it is. It's either you're very aggressive or it's very much like, nope, you said you wanted this. Oh, you want to eat candy for breakfast? Not a problem. Here's your Snickers bar. Here. Oh, you're sick of Snickers? Here's your Snickers bar. It also causes a increase of karma. What have you been working? What seeds have you planted?
You know, that's one of those things, like, every now and again, somebody will do something really screwed up to me, because why I'm a lightning rod for that on occasion just seems to happen. When you call the eye, you are not calling the eye on them. You are calling the eye on everything around you.
Mm-hmm.
And they may get the attention, but so are you.
Right. So I kind of find it interesting that we're having a Saturn in retrograde at the same time that we're seeing things like the January 6th conference, showing everything going on there, where the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp trial came out, and it's in the middle. Like the decision was literally that is going to be in the middle of Saturn retrograde. That started in a Mercury in retrograde. I also think some bigger secrets are going to be coming out.
Yeah, you don't hide anything from the judge.
No, not
You
at
only
all.
think you do.
Right. Um, so I'm just going to give a quick overview of how this may be hitting the signs. If you're Aries, this is your prompt to reassess and could arise to forming friendships that really check in with you and reality checks. Just who's in your social circle, Aries. You may be questioning just who those friends are. Taurus, you can expect more tension at work. I'd expect a job change around, yeah, with it hitting your 10th house, you're going to be struggling with your path, be questioning if you've made a mistake. Don't be hiding anything. Geminis, your belief systems are going to get questioned and may cause you to reverse older decisions. Cancer, get really deep emotionally, and you may be having to really deal with those power dynamics and personal depths of feelings. Leos, your relationships during this retrograde may be docked. It may be referring to romantic and platonic ones. With it hitting that partnership house, there may be questions about just the power dynamics in your relationship. Virgos, your daily habits and routines, are they serving you for your best health? It's going to cause you to be looking at that. Libra, overall retrogrades won't hit you so hard. It's only hitting your fifth house, which is your creativity and pleasure sectors. Scorpios, your home life is at target. Are you getting everything done there? Sagittarians, the way you communicate, what you're saying to your local community and your neighbors, there might be some fighting into that. You might be hearing from your HOAs. Capricorns, hello, psychotics. Capricorns, this is hitting and ruffling your feathers in your second house, which is your resources and your money. You might be wanting to question what you actually are building on your strengths there. Aquarians, oh, Saturn's at home, pissed off in your house. You could find yourself confronting some very serious and life demanding questions. What you doing? Why you doing it? Who's you doing it with? When do you want that to happen? Pisceans.
That'd be me.
Saturn might be a time for everyone to turn inwards and their energies particularly sensitive to you. Saturn in retrograde situations in your 12th house, which is your unconscious energy and private experiences. Pay attention to your dreams, question your realities.
Always.
Yeah.
I've had some weird dreams lately.
You may want to pay attention to them. For those wondering when Pisces will calm down, I mean, not Pisces, but when Saturn will calm down, we are in this.
Pisces will never calm down. Pisces never calm down.
When they go on a diet of Mountain Dew, they calm right down.
There's not enough coffee in the world.
That's why I said a diet of Mountain Dew.
I've never been a fan.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Never been a fan.
Trying to see when it goes out.
I did start drinking coffee in the last few years.
October 23rd.
Right before.
From June 4th to October 23rd, right before the election.
Oh, God. That's a little frightening.
Right.
You still have Mountain Dew?
Give me. That's one way to get off Mountain Dew.
Yeah, mono.
Yeah, apparently she used to love it until she got mono, and then after that she couldn't stand it. Trauma response.
Luther, you're fine. You're just going to have to wait.
10 minutes, Luther. 10 minutes.
Oh, he's turning his back to me and everything. The drama.
It's
my dog. I love my dog.
Yeah. So what are you going to be doing with this Saturn hitting your interpersonal decisions and emotions?
Stand up.
I know. What else?
Well, it's been interesting because mostly just trying to I've been working on the business and everything. I've been waiting,
Yeah.
It still rattles me because I've been at this now for, the YouTube channel has been up for 4 years, something like that, where I've been trying to make sure I actually do it. Yep. I've been on the network for just around a year. I think a little bit over now. I think we've gone over.
Yeah.
And I'm still trying to break into the psychic world.
Right. It takes a while. It's not an easy jump into the, everyone thinks it's an easy job. You sit at home and you do readings all day. It isn't.
Oh my God. I'm still like, I love my family, but they are convinced that I'm unemployed. Trying to explain to them, like, no, I've got a job. I've got plenty of work to do. And I think there's a big difference between unemployed and self-employed.
Yes.
Huge difference. And that difference is income.
No, that difference is not income. That difference is what you get to do. You don't have time to go running up to go have lunch at Thursday at 2 o'clock with a notice of it Thursday at 1 o'clock. You know, you
Right.
have to have your day planned out. You have to have a lot of scheduling going on. And no, I have all the time people think that I don't do anything, that I'm on disability, or that I'm just playing at my computer.
Ugh. Yeah, I've gotten that a couple times.
Yeah. You know, and what's really funny is we were at Pride. I done readings. Mama Knight came to her first Pride. I did get to walk around with her for a little bit, and I said, I've got to go back and work. And so I shipped her over to Techie Joe, and I was like, here, Techie, you go, go spend time with mom. Let me get some readings done. So he goes to spend time with mom, and mom's getting retired. She's ready to go, and she's like, he's just talking to people. He ain't doing readings. I'm like, what do you expect me to do? Get out the war dance material, like pull out the big rug and the big cauldron there, and be bubbling and stirring?
What are you looking for? I've really thought about like changing my event setup so it can be more mystical, magical. Because honest to God, I started really doing this. I decided to become a professional because
Right.
I was reading at a bar. I mean, how fancy do you think? I mean, I guess that was kind of a trip to just walk into a bar, a dark corner.
Uh-huh.
But I had to scream over the fucking amplifier. I
Uh-huh.
think sometimes they would put music on the jukebox just to shut me up because I scared them.
Does that work?
No, it just
Okay,
makes
I
me
didn't think
louder.
so.
If you want me to stop talking, if you want me to calm down, you have to be direct about it. Be like, honey, and then I decide if you're actually entertaining or intelligent enough for me to actually listen to.
Right. No, I was just being facetious because I know nothing shuts me up.
I would scream and use hand motions. By the end of the day, my voice would be out.
Uh-huh. Well, it's like every time I go to do a music festival and I'm reading at it, they set me right by the speakers. Oh, we put you over here so you'd have some privacy. By the speakers? There or by the bathrooms?
Right. I'm telling you what, that privacy is either like, it is always a double-edged sword because you're sitting there like, okay, I'm open.
Uh-huh.
I've gotten put literally in a broom closet one time.
Did you tell them you came out a long time ago?
Like, it's the first time I've been in a closet in a long time. I didn't know what to do. I'm like, can you put a sign out or something?
Oh. Like, forget the sign. Let's do, like, I don't know, streamers shooting from the roof.
That was also a buy tip. I missed it this year because I had something else going on.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, if I didn't have something else going on, I would love to go back because it's a tiny, tiny little event in a little community.
Mm-hmm.
So I loved it, but like I didn't get it on my calendar fast enough because my calendar is often first come, first serve, which is part of why, even though it's Pride Month and I should be reading it every weekend.
Right.
During June. Because I should be out at these events because apparently I didn't realize this. It's hard to find an LGBT friendly psychic.
It is. It is. That's why there's actually a category on Keen that's LGBT only.
Yeah, I was actually I talked to a business coach there and she was like, play it up.
Yeah.
So I just put it on there because I mean, not to be like, I was just like, I don't know, I guess maybe it's just a personal experience, but like most of the psychics the psychics I work with have to be, LGBT mental health friendly because I'm a fucking poster child.
Right. But no, that is a big
right?
thing, and that's because a lot of the training was took over by the spiritualist church. And a lot of them don't want and this is when you know that you've got a psychic with bias. When they can't read your relationship type. What?
I have had a couple of chats because I'm non-binary. I have issues trying to read people's genders. Like, so I'll get on these chats, and because I'm LGBT friendly, I never know who I'm talking to. If they have a gender neutral name, or they just get right into it, and I didn't think to ask them for their name. This one chat I get, does he love me? This other guy, And I'm reading that. I'm like, I think he's gay. He's like, well, I'm a guy, so that's fine. I'm like, oh, well, then give it a shot.
But at the same time, for me, I don't have problems reading energies. I have problems with the pronouns because Spirit hasn't gotten this pronoun thing.
I don't think, I don't know what the spiritual aspect of it is. I kind of wonder if I just haven't flip-flopped from life to life.
Exactly. And it's like sometimes I'll be reading somebody and they'll go, oh no, they're female. And it's like, oh no, they're not female energy.
Okay.
Like,
I did tell
nothing
somebody
feminine about them.
I did tell somebody one time, I'm like, honey, I think that you may find love in a gender that you are not expecting. And that's how I was trying to put it as delicately as I could. They were like, that's not what I wanted to hear. I'm like, well, I'm not getting paid to tell you what you want to hear. You're paying me to tell you what you need to hear. And I'm thinking that you may have some repressed feelings you might want to explore.
Well, not only that, but there may be, and I'm sorry, I've met straight men that the torch is higher, like very much higher than me.
Right. Like, yeah. I mean, it's not like something like, and I've met gay men, like, God love him, Tucky Joe is the straightest gay man I've ever met in my life.
Agreed. Agreed, honey. I mean, agreed. And love him to death. Boy, can't tell when he's been flirted with. Cannot tell when he's being flirted with. I'm like, honey, they're trying to flirt with you. What? Yeah.
And I think part of that is that he can't fathom being somebody's type. Like,
But he is the cute accountant type, not the spicy accountant, but that could get spicier. But he is a very cute little berry boy that has fun, and he's got a great intelligence and a wonderful brain. But there are things that with him, and I found, and there's things with every husband I've had, and I'm sure you'll agree with every relationship past 6 months, that it's like, dear gods, were you raised in a barn? One of the famous ones is I had to make a rule in my house. Okay, no eating over the sink. I thought this was a common neutrality. We have a dining room table.
Yeah, take your food and sit down.
We have a $10,000 dining room table, and I will walk into the kitchen and he's eating over the sink.
That's funny. I tell you what, like, some of the things that make me feel the most masculine are things that you really probably shouldn't aspire to. Like, apparently I do my laundry like a man. It drives my friend nuts. She's like, you're supposed to separate it out. You're going to ruin all the colors. I'm like, well, I mean, all my white stuff's purple, so I'm cool with that.
No, Dottie, there's four different laundry cycles there.
I mean, I do separate out some of the stuff that's got like metal bits and stuff. I am teachable. I have separated out my pants, my work pants from the rest of my clothes.
Okay, that's an improvement. You've got whites, darks, lights, colors, delicates. But
how is it our conversation devolves to laundry? Like,
honey, but it's not really dissolving. It's kind of like showing you Saturn in retrograde, because Saturn's like, you're gonna have all fucking pink now.
Usually purple. I have a few white things, and I think they're white because they're probably plastic.
I
do have a few garments that I take very, very good care of. Some of my older costuming that is like, I've got a suit in there. It's machine washable. It goes in. My $1 a yard crap cloth pride skirt. It's not machine washable.
No, it's steamed.
It will fall apart. It goes in by itself on delicate.
No, it gets steamed.
Steam don't save it, but it goes in. It goes in delicate. It goes in delicate by itself. But oh, I showed you that, haven't I? Did you ever see
Yes,
the
I
skirt?
saw it the first night you wore it.
Yeah, we were making like parachute jokes. I need to wear it again because that was a whole lot of freaking work for literally one event.
Mm-hmm. All right. So what is next week for Dottie?
Next week is, I believe. Oh. You know what? I don't know because there's a fifth Thursday, and that fifth Thursday. Well, I think that fifth Thursday we're all doing a massive live stream, right?
Yes, we are doing the round stream live stream where there will be everybody up for a cup of tea, and we're going to be throwing shade. I've already started building questions.
Okay, so next week will be my prediction of the month.
Yes. So that's your prediction of the month video coming out. You'll be taking calls on Keen all week in the evenings. Are you going anywhere?
I will actually be gone. I'm going to be gone part of next week because I'm going hopefully to a Grateful Dead concert with my uncle, but I'm probably not going to film that. That's one of those. I've learned that sometimes there's experiences I put on the vlog and there's experiences for me, and this is an experience for me and my uncle. So,
are you going to eat gummy bears?
I'm not going to admit to it on air.
Why not? They're just gummy bears. That would be an interesting thing to follow the Grateful Dead.
I'm excited about it. I'm really excited about it because I love going to fairs. I love going to festivals, and I really do need to because it's really kind of too late for June. I've got like a couple things I wanted to do, but I've a lot of family events go on in June, so I've kind of stuck to that. But I'm hoping that in July, because I've got stand up one day and then Crystal Kingdom the next.
So you're going to be making jokes one day and telling the future the next day.
Which really is a joke.
Not really.
A lot of these people.
Do it right, you can get it. You'll be like me and have to buy stock and Kleenex.
Sometimes, usually, I will tell you though, when I get hot, when I get rolling, and I'm getting people coming and going and whatnot. Yes, I know it's 9 o'clock, dog. Thank you for time telling. My dog can tell time. It's an amazing trick.
Yes. We're going to give him 2 more minutes, and then we're going to let Luther out.
Oh, yes. I will let you out, dog.
Well, you might see Shannon at Crystal Kingdom.
So, yeah, Crystal Kingdom up is like literally the day after. And I'll be there. I've got to get my applications in for that and for an event I'm doing in Beckley. I'll be close. I may have to come crash on your couch.
Oh, it's here.
For the reptile expose.
Very interesting.
Should be there for that. That's another one of those videos because the last one I did was in March, and I've still got footage that I've never put together. But it's a great time. Like those are my kind of people. It's like a whole bunch of dead things and fortune tellers. And yes, I see the dog. I see him. He's peeking around. When I look at him, he runs to the other
let's
side.
go ahead and get Luther out. We will talk at you later, guys. You have a great evening.
All right. Safe travel and much profit to you.